Just want to talk about anxiety a little bit, because I read, especially on Threads, so many posts of people saying, how do I get rid of anxiety? How do I get rid of anxiety? How do I get rid of anxiety? For me, the first thing is you have to feel it, right? Like, you have to be at one with anxiety. You need to question it, talk to it. Because for me, in the framework that I live by, there's a part of my personality at that moment that's really anxious, that's feeling the need to do something, or is feeling a little bit uncomfortable that we haven't done something. So for me, anxiety, the feeling is a message. So it's about tapping into that message, having a conversation with myself, outwardly or inwardly, to say, hey, what's going on? What needs to get done? What are you worried that hasn't been done? Having that conversation. But while you're having that conversation, you just allow the feelings of anxiety to just be. Because part of the whole process and why people end up on social media saying, how do I get rid of my anxiety, is it becomes overwhelming, right? We have this story that we can't cope. But we can, because we're human and we're incredible machines. So learning and practicing to feel it, and it just is a great reminder that we can handle it, and that's really important. Secondly, you got to do something to shake that feeling off a little bit, right? Over time, after you felt it. For me this morning, went for a run down the coastline here in Monte Carlo, did some stretches. So that's really important. Find something, maybe it's breath work for you, tap in, EFT. There's loads of different things you could do to try to lower that down and manage your nervous system. But then third, there's a lot more, but just 3 for now. The important one for me, you got to face it. You got to face that thing. So I know for me, a lot of my anxiety is going into work today. Today is the first day of Triton Poker Super High Roller Series in Monte Carlo. And there's a lot of unknown. What's going to go right? What's going to go wrong? What conflicts am I going to get into? How amenable are the poker players going to be when I interview them? Are they going to be frosty? Or are they going to be really receptive? So you've got to feel into it, right? Like, you've got to just face it. And after day one, once I've gone into the cauldron and I've done my work, I know my anxiety levels will just drop considerably. And then the next day when I go into work, I'll get into a little bit of a pattern. So exposure therapy, I guess, is what I'm talking about here, you know. I will throw in the last one. As I walk back to my apartment to get ready for work, it's gratitude. You know, just being really grateful about where you are, about what you're doing, about the people you're with, being really appreciative of your life. And again, if you go into that state and not just think it, right? So you don't just say, I'm grateful I'm in Monte Carlo. You got to really feel that you're grateful you're in Monte Carlo. And if you feel that gratitude, feel that appreciation, there's not really going to be any room for anxiety, right? Let me know if any of that landed for you down below. Thanks for listening.